Eren comes to terms with the outcome, and everyone watching is feeling the same sadness for their comrade. Han tells them that they're here to survive and not to build friendships, and anyone who doesn't understand that will die. Jenna tries to say something, but Han cuts her off, telling her to go to sleep. But now, Party 1 is absolutely stacked. Han tells the two newcomers that life doesn't get easy after joining his party. It actually only gets harder. But this is exactly why Belcast is here. He wants to get stronger. Everyone leaves, leaving Han watching Eren defeated inside of the cage. He tells him to leave the dueling center so he can heal, but Eren doesn't want to. Han begins climbing the stairs, asking Eren why he didn't target Belcast's weak points, and basically gave him a chance to win. Eren says he doesn't want to kill his own teammates, but Han doesn't believe that. He didn't raise Eren to be this soft. But it turns out Eren could have won against him, but he knows his own lack of talent. And after fighting Belcast over time, the man became stronger and stronger. Eren doesn't have the right to kill him, someone who shines brighter than him. And after watching the two new recruits, he realized the wasted effort that he puts in every day into training. Han understands his reasoning, because Eren doesn't want to cripple the master. He needs these two prodigies, and Eren can't even begin to compare to Han or Jenna. Han understands and offers a new role to Eren as an instructor. The job is to teach newbies on the first floor, and Eren is perfect for it. Usually this job is fought after, but Han will make sure Eren can get it, and asks the man what he thinks about it, teaching others. Eren hesitates, which makes Han question what his goal is, to get back to his family or to become stronger. Eren looks up and sheds a tear, and accepts his position, but Han tells him to quit it. There's no point in doing a job you don't want to do. Han used to know someone just like Eren, really untalented. His spearmanship was only level 2, and no matter how many times Han tried to throw him away, he always came back. Do you want to get stronger, Eren? The man doesn't answer at first, but as Han turns to walk away, he gets down on both knees, begging Han to teach him, with tears coming down his face. He never wants to think these pathetic thoughts again. Is it possible for someone like me to get stronger? Han says that there is. Wait for the second floor gate to open. Han will take him to Niflheim. Eren questions where that is, but Han tells him not to worry. It's a great place to be. We shift now to Jenna introducing herself to the new party members, but they straight up ignore her. Han notices this awkwardness and tells the two that they should be aware of the battles with the regen stone. They fight with fire, so they are going to need to get used to it. Learn the fire resistance skill as fast as you can. Belcast questions the method of plunging his hand into fire, but Han says it's effective. Belcast promises to learn it in 4 days, and Han tells Jenna that she needs to make up for Eren's position, and now himself and Belcast are short range. But Han warns Belcast not to fight out of their support range. Self-belief is good, but being cocky and not listening makes you useless. Belcast agrees, and Han looks towards Nerissa. She has many useful skills: swordsmanship, dagger throwing, fast movement, stealth, poison. Han asks what she was doing before coming here. An assassin, maybe? Nerissa answers vaguely, something like that, and Han thinks to himself that she would have had to be an advanced summon if she was a real assassin, but she must have had some experience. He tells the girl that she will have a mid-range position, and she will switch depending on the situation. She will also be in charge of collecting information. Han knows that someone like her will agree verbally, but if they don't like their role, conflict will soon arise. Evoka questions what she should do, but Han just tells her plainly that she just needs to run away, which turns her into stone. Edith is listening in, telling Han that her party is still short members. Han tells her to go to the first floor if she can't find anyone. There's bound to be useful people shortly. Dika took up a role as an instructor and was ordered to focus on the students who show the most determination. If there are no summons, this is their only option. Free summons are still being used, and at least one talented person should arrive from them. Edith sighs, but doesn't see an alternative. Han warns her not to show favoritism too soon. It might lead to discrimination. Bullying, you mean? As we see this exact thing happening to a blue-haired fellow on the first floor. We shift to the next day, and Han is in the dueling center with his new comrades. He tells them today they will fight to learn each other's weaknesses. Belcast is excited to fight Han, and Han tells Nerissa to come as well. Belcast, however, wants to duel Han one-on-one, as the two men's aura flare up. But we get a flashback when Belcast went to the first floor, and found a group of people who had been excluded from Party 3. They tried to fight Belcast, but it ended just as you would expect, with them missing limbs. And that same group seems to be going around bullying heroes they don't like. It didn't cause a huge problem right now because there aren't many heroes that match the second floor candidates. We go back to Han's duel as Belcast happily makes the first move. Han parries, sending his sword flying, that there are people levels above him, taunting the man. Seems you're tough when fighting people on the first floor, huh? Belcast smiles with sweat beading down his face. Han sure is strong, but he is happy he got to join Party 1. He's gonna need Nerissa to help him fight. The girl coats her blade and the two take their stances. Han is ready to take them on. We don't see the actual fight, but of course Han whooped both of their asses. Velkus and Nerissa are visibly exhausted. They thought they would have a better chance together, but Han tells them they have absolutely no teamwork, and at their level, they might not even be able to take Jenna. Jenna hears this and comes up, and it seems Han wants her to fight them next. She seems scared, but Han tells her that she is much stronger, and he orders the two to fight Jenna until they can win. Velkus asks if Han is messing with him, he would never lose to Jenna, and Nerissa is slowing him down. It seems the two can't stand each other. Han tells them to fight instead of talk, and he will give them the duels they want, if they can beat Jenna. Velkus tells Nerissa to step back and he will handle this. The fight begins and Jenna lets off the first arrow and Velkus blocks, but starts to panic after he sees a dozen more fired at his compromised position. Jenna activates her Find Weakness skill and pelts Velkus full of arrows, sending one a centimeter from his neck. Han laughs since he tried to warn the man, but Velkus just smiles. It seems he is smaller than he thought. Han tells them again that the two of them need to work together to defeat Jenna. They have 2 days, and as they saw through the regenerative stone, the party has fought against countless enemies during their mission, so why are you trying to fight alone? You two don't even have the basics down. But the two are still stubborn, as Nerissa wants to take the next one-on-one. But after a short amount of time, Jenna painted a picture around her full of arrows. Han sighs since neither of them even lasted a minute, and now the two understand that they need to work together in order to win, even if they don't like it. They have to try. They charge in at Jenna, but their teamwork is still lacking, as Jenna systematically handles them. Han yells, asking what the hell the two are doing. They are fighting worse than if they were fighting alone. Nothing is going to change no matter how much you curse each other. If you can't handle this, you'll be switched to party 2. The two argue at each other, but both of them can't land a single hit on Jenna. Han watches on and he knows their egos are hurt by this display. Jenna grew up in the wild, and she's used to fighting beasts. You need to learn quickly when fighting intelligent creatures. The two rush in again, but at the end of the day for Jenna, these two are nothing more than prey. Nighttime comes and the two are riddled with arrow wounds. Han orders them to step out. They are too injured to continue. They do so, exhausted from their battle, and Yavoka comes out of nowhere commenting on the duo. Han asks why she is here and she's supposed to be training, and Han warns her that if she doesn't go back to that, he's gonna tell Chloe to only feed her potatoes. Han tells the two newcomers that training is done for today, despite their cries. Jenna didn't even get a chance to train at all by herself. They need to respect other people's time. Han is going to look for different members tomorrow, if the two can't beat Jenna. And Han isn't joking. They get one more duel in 24 hours. If they lose, it's over. Don't disappoint me. Jenna is shocked at Han's request. Are you serious? Han asks when he has ever lied, but Jenna remembers multiple times where he's done so. But she is bonked in the head for talking shit. Han tells her that they are useless if they can't work together. But Jenna questions who else they could add. Han knows that today's display showed the two newbies that distrusting each other will be their downfall. If they can't change that, it's already over. The next day comes and Jenna is at the dueling center asking where the two are, but finds out that they requested some additional time to train. Yavoka knows what is about to happen as Han tells her that today's training will be extra hard since it's only the three of them. But out of the corner of Jenna's eye, she spots the newbies approaching. They are ready. The same rules apply. This is their last chance. They need to show some good teamwork, even if they don't like it. Jenna prepares her bow but is shocked. Instantly, both of them are standing still. She lets off a volley of arrows at Nerissa, but Velkus blocks for her. Nerissa uses this opportunity to throw daggers at Jenna. Jenna dodges and lets off more arrows, but now Velkus can see her shots. He blocks the flurry and learned the projectile resistance skill. The two rush in at Jenna and she shoots another barrage, but the two fall into formation, blocking as they run. And after a second, they disperse left and right, attacking Jenna from both sides. Jenna manages to jump away, but a dagger is thrown at her. She barely dodges that, but as she lands, she feels an intense bloodlust as Velkus is ready to kill her. He lunges his sword, but she falls backwards to dodge. She jumps away, but Nerissa was waiting. She puts her dagger at Jenna's throat, ending the duel. Velkus is happy, and so is Han. It seems the two finally learned to fight together. He analyzes their plan, and Nerissa was able to hide her presence, and it gave her the opportunity to end the duel. They improved a lot in one day, and the strength of the group is more important than the strength of any one individual. Velkus wants to know if they can beat Han fighting like that, but of course they didn't stand a chance, and Han beat them close to death every time. There is still time until the real tower floors, and whatever hasn't sent them on any missions, giving them time to adjust. But little by little, Party 1 was becoming a team. Han lets the two rest after whooping their ass, and lets them know starting now, him and Jenna will fight them 2-on-2, which completely depresses them. He tells them to loosen up since they'll be shifting teams, so they can all learn combination attacks. They need to be able to work with everyone else. Velkus questions why they're training like this. Watching Han on the 5th and 10th floor, it was him doing everything. What's the point of this training? Han tells Velkus that he's retarded. Han wasn't able to do anything by himself. If it wasn't for the sacrifices of Zid and Hansen and Yavolka fixing the dam, he wouldn't even be here to train them. Teamwork is the only thing that will take them high in this tower. But even Han isn't strong enough to carry them alone, here on out. He thinks that the 2 new recruits he has are growing fast, and soon they will be up to par. And now the group spends most of every day sparring. They take turns fighting in different pairs, learning different combinations. There was a little effect where whatever team Han was on would always win, but over time the balance started to shift. And after a week they put Yavolka in as well to practice formation training, and began teaching the two how to utilize their strengths. Nerissa is more impressed after each lesson that Han teaches. She can't even imagine what he used to do before coming here. But still, no one believes that he was a farmer. Interrupting the group is a call to battle from the master. Everyone gets up in excitement, and Eren wishes Han well. Han asks who these people are at the gate, and Nerissa tells him that this is the 3rd generation, the people who came after the floors being separated. These newcomers watch on, shit-talking Party 1, which makes Velkus turn with rage. A man comes over to Han, begging to be moved to the 2nd floor. He has a chronic illness, but Han just smacks the shit out of this motherfucker, asking why he's lying. Anything you could possibly have is being healed constantly. Don't you dare show me your face again. Ysel pops out, warning the newcomers not to mess with Party 1. Han asks when the people started getting like this, but Nerissa tells him it happened ever since the floors were divided. But they don't have time to worry about that. The gate opens and Han tells the 2 newbies to follow his orders closely. They are transported into the 16th floor. The mission type is exploration. Velkus is confused, but Han tells him that something like this has been done on the 6th floor. It shouldn't be too difficult. As the team looks around at this mansion that they're transported to, Nerissa thinks that she might know where they are. But once she is certain, she will let Han know. Han orders everyone to investigate, but a lot of the doors are not usable. Han orders Nerissa to look around in stealth and report back when she is done. For now, the group will move in formation. They maneuver the mansion, and Yavolka questions why there isn't anyone around. But I guess they'll find out pretty soon. Velkus comments on the weird layout of the space, and how it doesn't really make sense. It has to look strange on the outside. Yavolka comments on how smart Velkus is, which makes him start to get angry. Han tells the group to be quiet as they approach 3 different paths. They are in a labyrinth. This isn't a normal mansion. The paths twist like a maze. Han orders the group to stand by until Nerissa comes back. Jenna starts to get worried and Velkus is pretty bored and wants to fight some enemies. Han tells them to relax, they'll get their chance soon enough. There is 100% enemies on this floor. 5 minutes pass and Nerissa returns. She went down the middle path and realized the maze isn't too complicated. There isn't any traps or enemies, but she did stumble upon something, as you see a maid hunched over the floor, covered in blood. A door opens up as Party 1 approaches this crying maid. She isn't reacting to our heroes, but begins coughing up blood. The group wonders whether or not to kill her, but Han's rule of thumb is not to mess with something if they don't know what will happen. Jenna thinks the girl is suffering from an illness, but the group cannot afford to help her. Unfortunately, they still can't find a way out, and are seemingly trapped in this room. Velkus bites his lip, bored out of his mind, but Han tells him to keep his head in the game. Something could happen soon. Han starts thinking about the labyrinth, but Nerissa interrupts. There's enemies on the way. They're in the next hallway. Several armed guards with swords, spears, and crossbows. Han wants to ambush them and orders Jenna and Nerissa to take care of the ranged enemies, while the other 3 handle the melee ones. Han peeks past the door looking at the helpless soldiers and counts down from 3. And on 1, the entire party moves out, killing soldiers almost instantly. Velkus starts to laugh as he decapitates 2 men, and the rest are handled easily. But Han is not convinced that this is over, and he takes a look around. He throws his shield towards the 2nd floor door, and as he suspected, it's locked. Han tells Yavolka to prepare a spell towards the other doors, and just as he says this, and more level 17 human soldiers pour out ready to fight. Yavolka, with a shortened cast time, immediately begins to cook them alive. Han orders Nerissa and Velkus to support him. The 2 follow as they engage the remaining soldiers in melee, while Jenna supports with her arrows. Han slices the last one and tells the group to rest for now. Yavolka asks how Han knew there would be more enemies, and he told her that it was from hitting his shield on the 2nd floor. It wasn't opened, so it signaled their fight wasn't done. But now they are free to proceed. It seems this mission is over. Velkus isn't too satisfied. Han just calls him a bonehead and the group climbs the stairs, clearing the stage. Velkus and Nerissa level up and Yavolka is the MVP. The master gets 50 gold. Jenna asks Han if the next floor will be similar, and Han thinks that it might be. As he is pondering, Jenna leaves. Nerissa sticks around saying that she has some information about the place they were at. We shift to Han's room as he sits with Nerissa and she starts explaining what she knows. She used to work inside of that mansion. That place is called the Golden Mansion, home of the Haljion clan, one of the famous 4 clans. Han just laughs since what would he know about that? he's just a simple farmer. But Nerissa still doesn't believe that lie. What Han understood from her conversation is the continent of Tanoir is dominated by a single country, the Empire, and inside exists 4 major clans that each possess as much power as the imperial family: Asinis, Lantia, Schuttenberg, and Haugian. Nerissa assumes that the stage was the Golden Mansion, but there was some major differences from when she worked there, so she can't be 100% certain. She doesn't know why they are doing these missions, but feels a strange connection between them. Han confirms that she said there is a total of 5 floors, and asks if this clan has any relation to monsters. Nerissa says that there isn't a connection, but it is said that this family has the blood of dragons flowing within them. Han takes a sip of his tea. A dragon, huh? The 20th floor is a serious achievement in Pick Me Up. This is the part of the game that separates the noobs from the real masters. The floor is the same for everyone. A boss monster appears depending on the account, and the strength of these monsters can't be compared to the previous floors, and less than half of the total player base can actually get past this floor. Nerissa saw Han rescue the princess, but can't understand why they're in the Haugian mansion. Han asks if their mission is a conflict of interest with her, killing the people inside of this mansion, but she just smiles, saying that this is something she was hoping to do one day. And she says that a little bit too happily. This chick is crazy, but I mean, I kinda like it. This was all the information that Nerissa had for Han, but Han asks Ysel to come out of hiding. How long is she planning to sit there in the corner? She comes out embarrassed, but Han asks her what she wants. She says she's just nervous since Han is climbing the tower again, but Han just tells the fairy that the real test is coming. We will see if whatever truly wants to play this game. Ysel asks on the info that Nerissa gave, and it was indeed helpful to Han. The order to capture the princess came from the Haugian clan, so Han is beginning to understand the full picture. There is 2 things that he learned from Nerissa. The Golden Mansion has 5 floors that matches up perfectly with floors 16 through 20. Next, the bloodline is related to dragons, so the boss monster most likely is a dragon. They are absurdly strong creatures without many weaknesses. But Han is relieved that it won't be a pure-blooded dragon. Right now, Han needs to thoroughly prepare for this boss fight, and tells Ysel to be ready when he needs it. Party 1 is thrusted into the 17th floor, and now they are on the 2nd floor of the mansion, headed to the 3rd. This place has more passageways than the last, and Han tells his group to prepare themselves. If this is a real labyrinth, it could take them a couple days. Jenna is scared they might starve to death, but Han tells her not to be. He thinks to himself that the difficulty on this account isn't normal. The group easily completes this floor, slaying enemies and avoiding traps. The stage is cleared and Velkist is the MVP. They immediately go into the next floor and maneuver the maze as well. They clear the 18th floor and the 19th soon after, and the group exits back to the waiting room. Jenna is just happy that they didn't starve to death, but the reason they were able to do it so easily was because of Han. All of a sudden, the master constructs a new building, the Depository, level 1. Ivoka questions what this is, but Han tells her it's a place to store many different things. But there's a difference. It's used to bury heroes. The master may look back on heroes that died in the game, and can even check their memories. Han is now seen in the training grounds and notes how the master has spent time letting Party 2 climb the 16th floor, and also Party 3. He tells the group that shortly they will try the 20th. He tells Jenna to focus on learning the strongbow skill, and Yavoka is ordered to increase her power with flame magic up to the 4th circle. Nerissa offers to go into the weekday dungeons to prepare some lethal poisons, and Velkist just wants to spar with Han with real weapons. Han just laughs. First thing in the morning, huh? Han actually likes the man's personality. He never gives up no matter how many times he loses. He's much different than Eren. Yavoka pops out of nowhere and she also wants to do combat training, but Han just reminds her that she said she didn't want to participate. But after seeing the depository, she changed her mind. We flash back to Han explaining this building, and although he can't bring back dead heroes, it's used to get back the gear that they had. Velkist and Jenna have funny reactions to this, but Yavoka is stressed out. She's worried someone's going to die on the 20th floor. Jenna just hugs her, and they have Han, so they have nothing to worry about. But this makes Jenna even more worried, since they almost died on the 15th floor. Han talks to Nerissa, asking if she's scared, but she smiles confidently. If she was scared, she would have never offered to join Han's party. We shift back to the training grounds, and Yavoka and Velkist are tag teaming against Han. Han sidesteps a flame spell, and Velkist rushes in. Han blocks his first strike, and Velkist levels his sword skill to 5, and Han also levels his to 8. Jenna continues her training and unlocked the strongbow skill. Han drops his wrist weights that he was using, and on some Dragon Ball Z shit, they break the ground. The preparations for the 20th floor are going smoothly, and we see a snapshot of Han's level. He has 43 strength, 10 intellect, 39 HP, and 37 agility, and a drop-down of all his skills are shown. And during this time, they received some useful people for the second floor. A pharmacist was added and was assigned to create healing potions, and Dika was allowed back into the second floor from being a good instructor. And he immediately thanks Han for recommending him. However, just getting better at fighting isn't enough to progress. The support jobs are also important, and each one has more trainees. The blacksmith can now make up to D+ rank weapons, and Party 3 properly started climbing the tower. There is a possibility they might be needed on the 20th floor, since it could be a raid type dungeon. The warehouses are full of equipment, and there will be no better time to try the 20th floor. It'll be difficult, but whatever should know that already, from reading Han's manual. Even he had a hard time. Everyone he had died 3 times attempting that floor, but they cannot afford to fail, not once and not ever. Party 1 approaches the gate and Han tells them this is the last chance they will have to do what they need to do. Han tells them that it's too late to write a will, and actually Yvolko is writing one with magic. Everyone else is confident as Party 1 is ready to attempt the boss floor. They get a warning and it seems that this floor actually is a raid type floor and requires 3 parties to enter. Parties 1 through 3 are grouped, which makes Jenna excited. The master did get better at the game and sent the sacrifice in to see the floor first, before the main force goes in. But this guy is not excited to be killed like this, but Ysel forces him to enter. The guy didn't last even a few minutes, and now it's Party 1's turn, as they agree to enter first. Ysel tells everyone to listen to Han, which makes Velkis question why she kisses his ass, and the group enters the 20th floor. Han sees a similar hallway to the previous floors. Han tells his party to get ready. The mission will start once he opens these doors. He does so and a red light shines through, and more warning signals appear. Floor 20. Mission type: subjugation. The heroes face a single man who curses them. It's all because of them this is happening. Han doesn't let him speak and orders Jenna and Yvolko to fire. They do so and Jenna puts a hole in the man and Yvolko sets him ablaze. Han isn't foolish and orders the rest of his party to flank him. The melee members start to rush in, but the real enemy is revealed. A level 42 half black dragon. The master gets a notification that this is a unique monster. Han tells his party to stay focused and Jenna continues using her strongbow skill, but her arrows cannot pierce the dragon's skin. Yvolko tries as well, but the dragon is resistant to physical and magical spells. Even Han rushes in to strike the beast, but it's also blocked. The same alert pops up. This enemy is resistant to physical attacks. Nerissa and Velkis try but get the same result. Han orders them to back off for now as the dragon balls up and starts shooting its scales into our heroes. Nerissa is caught by one and is bleeding, but quickly prepared a health potion. Han is concerned that nothing is working on this beast. Velkis smiles, but he's also worried. Han explains that their attacks are not getting through, which makes his party worried. How are they supposed to kill this thing? But there's no time to talk as the 3 engage the dragon again. All of the party's attacks have no effect. As they scream out, Han orders them all to retreat. He will fight this thing alone, but even his attacks don't work. He tells his group that the dragon only focuses one person. Don't waste energy attacking, but they have another problem, as the scales start to turn into new enemies, corrupted shadows. Han will tank the dragon as his party handles these new shadows. Han tells his party that there's definitely a way to handle this dragon, as he blocks a strike head on. Velkis starts making quick work of the shadows, and the rest of Party 1 follows suit. Han thinks about the monster's attack pattern. It's not too complex, but this resistance is starting to piss him off. Han continues his assault, but nothing is changing. He gets hit in the leg, causing him to bleed, but quickly pops a potion and charges back in. But he's hit again and again, causing him to bleed once again. Jenna tries to help, but Han yells for her to take care of the shadows first. Yvolko and Velkis question what to do, but Han can't think of anything. When will this phase end? An invincible foe? An endless wave of summoned creatures? A hopeless fight? Han notices the soldiers watching the fight from the ramparts. Velkis is enjoying this floor, but Han isn't having a fun time. A notification is seen. Field formation is complete. The master can now deploy the other squads. He summons them on the ramparts and they see what's going on. They try to help, but they can't pass the barrier. But they have their own problems as the twisted soldiers turn towards them. There is a goddess statue with mysterious energy around it, with human soldiers blocking their path. Roderick understands the goal and Han tells the other parties that he's counting on them. Party 2 starts their assault and Han tells his own party to focus down all of the ads. Yvolko prepares a spell as the rest of Party 1 defends her. Han continues to take away the dragon's attention and Yvolko casts, dealing with a large amount of the shadows. She follows up with a burn and transcend, but is starting to feel fatigued. Jenna hands her another mana potion, and the minions are handled. Han looks at the dragon and is struggling, and the dragon swings its tail, but all of a sudden, Han's sword begins to glow, and now his strikes make the dragon bleed. Party 2 has captured the altar, weakening the dragon. The goddess blessing has activated, and the master gets a prompt to swipe on the screen to empower his heroes. And now everyone in the raid's weapons begin to glow. Party 1 has a new confidence as they finally get ready to take on this son of a bitch.